Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We got a lot to talk about. We got the Browns and the decision on Deshaun Watson suspension, which was made. And we're going to talk about this Saturday's preseason finale. We're going to talk some Cavs and some Guardians. And our first look at the Ohio State Buckeyes. Before we get to any of that, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Which 1986 team's roster included quarterbacks Ken Anderson, Boomer Esiason, and a recently core of Chris Collinsworth and Eddie Brown? I'll have the answer later on the podcast. As you know, Deshaun Watson had been suspended originally for 6 games and given a $5 million fine. But the NFL and the NFL Players Association and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell decided to appeal it, and he appointed Peter Harvey to make that decision. It took some time, but the decision was made, and Watson will serve an 11-game suspension without pay after he was accused by more than 24 women of sexual misconduct during massage sessions. Watson will also pay a $5 million fine and undergo mandatory evaluation by behavioral experts, and however follow their suggested treatment program, which includes counseling. Watson's suspension takes effect August 30th, when the NFL teams will cut down to cut down the roster to the limit of 53 players. He will be eligible for reinstatement on November 28th, and he will be available, to play for the Browns again in Week 13 in Cleveland. When Cleveland, faces his whole team, the Houston Texans, on the road. After a 21-20 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles this past Sunday, the Browns are getting ready for their preseason finale against the Chicago Bears on Saturday at First Energy Stadium. And yes, we will see Jacoby Brissett in this week's game, preseason finale against the Bears. Brissett knows he has a lot of work ahead of him, and he knows what he has to do to get ready for this week's game and for the Carolina Panthers in Week 1. And it's official. Baker Mayfield will be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers when the Browns will face them in Carolina in Week 1 on Sunday, September 11th. Brissett knows that he is confident. And Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, and the Haslams are very confident in what Jacoby Brissett and what they know what he needs to do. But I feel they do need to sign a starting quarterback and give him a 1-year deal, and it could be Jimmy Garoppolo. You never know. We will have to wait and see. But the New York Jets are also interested in him, so we will see. And kickoff for Saturday's game against the Bears is at 7 p.m. on WEWS TV5 ABC. Now turning over to the Cavs. The 2022-23 NBA schedule has been announced. The Cavs will begin the season on the road against the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday, October 19th. Then they will head to Chicago to take on the Bulls at the United Center on Saturday, October 22nd. Before opening the season with their home opener at home against the Washington Wizards on Sunday, October 23rd at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. They will play a lot of games on the road in the first half, as well as the second half of this season, besides home games. I feel this season is going to be a very intense one for the Cavs, as will as well as they will face some very tough opposing teams, and some that are not so tough, and some that may not be so tough. Excuse me. So all in all, I feel this is going to be I feel the Cavs are going to have a really good season and a very challenging season and a better record than last season. And hopefully they will make the playoffs this year, as they fell short last year of the playoffs. We now have our first look at the turning out of the Buckeyes. We are just a few days away and 1 week away from the start of the college football season. And we now have our first look at the Ohio State Buckeyes. Head coach Ryan Day and quarterback C.J. Stroud say they would like to see the Buckeyes come out and have one of their best seasons ever, as they are looking to make a run for a national championship title or any of the other bowl games this season. OSU running back Trayvon Henderson enters the year at 20-1, and that's his record. Stroud also mentioned that he hopes the Buckeyes' defense will improve, because if the defense doesn't improve, Stroud and company, all of the Buckeyes, may just have to carry the Buckeyes by outscoring everyone else. We don't have to prove anybody wrong, Stroud concluded. We have to prove ourselves right in each and every game. The Buckeyes will begin the season against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame on Saturday, September 3rd at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. Kickoff is on Saturday, September 3rd at 7:30 p.m. in prime time on ESPN and ABC. We will get to the Guardians in just a moment, but first, it's time now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. And it is a NFL football trivia question, which we have not had in a while. Which 1986 team's roster included quarterbacks Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason and receiving core of Chris Collinsworth and Eddie Brown? And if you said the Cincinnati Bengals, you are correct. Esiason led the Bengals to a 10-6 season, but not good enough to make the playoffs. Or any postseason games. This season was Boomer's career high for passing yards, falling just 40 yards shy of 4,000, 401 yards shy of 4,000. 1986 was Esiason's first of 3 Pro Bowl selections. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now turning over to the Guardians. The Guardians shut out the San Diego Padres 7-0 today at Petco Park in San Diego, California. Cal Quantrill was on the hill for the Guardians today. Quantrill went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, had only 1 beat at bat, and struck out 6 batters. Then the bullpen went to work and did an awesome job. And Enyel De Los Santos came on in the ninth and got the save. In the top of the first, Jose Ramirez homers on a fly ball to left center field, and the Guardians had the early 1-0 lead. In the top of the fourth, Jose Ramirez homers again on a line drive to left center field, and the Guardians had a 2-0 lead. Jose Ramirez, 2 homers in this game today. Then in the fourth, Oscar Gonzalez homers on a line drive to left field, and it was 3-0 Guardians lead. The Guardians had 3 more home runs, and had a 6-0 lead. They scored a total of 5 home runs in the 4th inning, and tacked on 1 more in the 7th, and the Guardians get the win by the final score of 7-0. Quantrill with the win. He goes to 5-2 on the season, and Blake Snell takes the loss. He falls to 5-7 on the season. The Guardians are now 66-56, 4 games ahead of the Minnesota Twins, and they remain in first place in the AL Central. Next up, the Guardians will head to Seattle for a 4-game series against the Seattle Mariners beginning this afternoon at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. Tristan McKenzie on the hill for the Guardians with a record of 9-9, and Marco Gonzalez on the hill for the Mariners with a record of 8-12. First pitch is today at 4:10 on Major League Baseball Network, MLB Network, as everybody says, and on YouTube TV. And you can also hear the game on the radio home of the Tribe, WTAM News Radio, WTAM 1100. You can hear it there. Now, getting back to the Browns, as they prepare for their preseason finale against the Chicago Bears this Saturday, this is going to be we will see some of the starters in this game as well. That I failed to mention that, and we will. And we will hopefully, maybe we'll see Anthony Schwartz and maybe Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. We'll see. We'll see what starters Stefanski decides to play. We will see when the game kicks off at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday on ABC WEWS TV5. And I am really looking forward to, once this preseason is done, when we get to week 1 and face the Carolina Panthers and face quarterback Baker Mayfield, that will, actually when we get to the first game, Thursday night, the kickoff game, that will be the season premiere of Scott Sports 101, Thursday Night Football pregame, and after the game, postgame. That will be, and then when we get to Sunday, the rest of week 1, that will be the season premiere of Scott Sports 101, early games pregame, and then after the game, early games post-game, late games pregame, and then the late games post-game show, and then the premiere of Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football pregame, and after that, the post-game after the game, and also and on Monday of week 1, which will be September 12th, the season premiere of Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football post-game pregame, and after the Monday night game, Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football postgame. And I am definitely looking forward to that, and I'm ready for the football. And I'm ready. And week 1, I usually have my really good friend Matt Murphy but he has something that coming out that he cannot get out of. So he will be with me on week 2, as I will be at his house for that game. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back this weekend or sometime next week with another one of my podcasts. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.